So the rule for multiplying fractions is basically we're going to multiply the top times top and the bottom times bottom. Okay, so we're basically grouping the multiplies on the top and we're grouping the divides on the bottom. And then we want to simplify the fraction to lowest terms. Now, we can simplify while we're multiplying as well if we can see common factors in times and divide. But basically, when we're multiplying fractions, it's really just one big fraction because fraction math is times and divide math. So I can just draw in one fraction line. I have a top, which is 5 times 8, and I have a bottom, which is 6 times 3. And so my resulting fraction then works out to be 40 over 18. And I can simplify this. I can find a common divisor of 2, and this becomes 20 over 9. And you can convert this to an improper fraction, but I prefer you leave it as a mix. Sorry, you can convert this into a mixed number, but I prefer it as an improper fraction. So we'll do the same thing here. We have basically one big fraction, and we have all the times factors on top, 2 times 10. Now I'm going to break up the 10 into 2 times 5. And I'm going to break up the 6 into 2 times 3 because it allows us to see the factors on the top and the bottom that can cancel. So I'm just going to group all these factors in the denominator. And I'm just going to leave this as 25. Although they have factors of 5, there's only one factor of 5 in the numerator. And I can see that a times 5 on top and a divide 5 on the bottom will cancel out and simplify. Same with the times 3 on top here, divide 3 on the bottom. And at this point, if I check the numerator and denominator, they do not share any more common factors, so they cannot be simplified any further. So I end up with 6 on top, 25 on bottom. When we're doing BEDMAS, we just have to follow our order of operations. So we're going to, in this case, do the inside brackets first. So we have 1/2. 3 plus 3 over 5, 8 over 3 minus 1 over 5. Our common denominator in this case is going to be 15. So I'm going to multiply 3 by 15 and the denominator by 15. So I'm going to express 3 with a denominator of 15. I'm going to multiply the top and bottom here by 5. And that gives me a fraction of 40 over 15 for that second fraction minus, this is going to be times 3 to get a common denominator. That ends up as 3 over 15 is same as 1 over 5. Just to kind of highlight these here, this here and this here go together, and I just wanted to get a different color here. So this here and this here match, and we have this matches this part here. Okay, so we have all these matching parts. I'm going to now add the fractions together. So I keep my denominator of 15. I add 45 plus 40 minus 3. That gives me 82. Okay, and 82 and 15 don't share any common factors. However, 82 and 2 share common factors. So at this point, since it's all just times now, we can just treat this as one big fraction. This becomes 41 times 2. It's going to be my 82. And this is 2 times 15. The times 2 divide 2 cancel out. And I'm left with 41 over 15 as my final answer. For the next one here, we want to again do the inside first. I'm going to get a common denominator if I'm going to add and subtract. So I'm going to end up with 4 over 6 minus 1 over 6 plus, and again, I need a common denominator, so it's going to be times 3 here. That gives me 3 over 6. Then I'm going to square the result of that. Again, BEDMAS means I do the inside first. This is all over one denominator of 6. 4 minus 3 is 3, plus 3 is 6. I get 6 over 6 squared. This is really just 1 squared, and this is equal to 1. For number 3, we could do this with distribution, but because there's a plus in here, there's a plus in between these, we don't want to mix up addition and multiplication. So what we can do first to make it much easier on ourselves is we can convert this to a mixed number. So as a mixed number, 3 and 2/5 work out to be 17 over 5 times, this works out to be 17 over 6. 17 is a prime number, so they don't share any common factors with 5 or 6. So we end up with 289, 17 times 17. 5 times 6 is 30, so there's my final simplified answer. Do the same thing here. This becomes 31 over 12, so 2 times 2, 12 plus 7, times, this becomes 9 over 2. 9 and 12 do share common factors, so we should maybe simplify this. So I end up with 31 times 3 times 3. All the times factors are on top. This becomes 4 times 3 times 2. All the divide factors are on the bottom. We can cancel out any common factors. And this will leave us with 3 times 31 over 8. And there's our final simplified answer. So again, the big idea is that we have times on top and divide on bottom.